A for Alice, from Resident Evil films. One of the most badass action franchises in last decade, along with Celine from Underworld and its sequels. I do not know about any other franchise with female lead which has been stuck honestly to the core of its genre over the years. Actually, the latest trailers did trigger the idea of the list. The clone cosplay was a real hit in the Comic-Con few years back. They all have planned for this homage to Milla Jovovich. Runners-up, Amanda Young, B for Beatrix Kiddo, Black Mamba, the Bride, from Kill Bill films. You know, this character made the color yellow cool after it had been released. Now was as cool and classic as ever. Fortunately the dubbed version was released in the Indian channel binders. Otherwise I do not know how we could have come to know about Mr. Tarantino. Runners-up, Bridget Jones, of course. C for Carrie Bradshaw, from Sex and the City films. This one I never liked that much. But you have keep the list more politically, and racially, and sexually, correct when you are a social animal. While talking about honesty, should not forget that the character always was speaking what a woman wants. There was no women's lib theory implied in it. I think that makes it a real feminist one. Thumbs up. Runners-up, Clarice Starling and my personal favorite, Cindy Campbell. D for Diana Prince, from DCEU. She is the so-called warrior prince. A nice move from the writers actually. When the male beefcakes are either king, alien, cyborg, detective or sprinter, the lady is the killer here. Next point, the actress herself. We must not forget that the company did choose her over Megan Fox and Megan Gale, most probably Christina Hendricks too. When Gal Gadot was asked in an interview as should not those be bigger as per the comics, she replied, according to the mythology, I should have one cut down. Wow. She has the real shoulders to carry the role. I am eagerly waiting to watch the next film. Runners-up, Dory and Debbie Callahan, E for Ellen Ripley, from Alien films. As Wolverine defines Hugh Jackman, Captain Jack Sparrow does it for Johnny Depp and T-800 for Arnold Schwarzenegger. This role suits as a lax costume for Sigourney Weaver. She never could put the costume down. Think about Galaxy Quest or Avatar. Written multiple times for a male lead. Eventually the character was refurbished as this and man, she won an Oscar for it too. This was the previous Ellen we knew before Dory. I miss 70s every day. Runners-up, could not remember any more names. F for Fiona, from Shrek films. Fiona was not too anti-heroine or vamp at all. But she kicked out all feminine possibilities even though there was Shrek. First she had overcome for her looks, then she started hating gossips and grooming Shrek, after that she has formed a rebel group of all other damsels in distress and now she is Che Guevara. Nice character curve. Runners-up, Fujiko Mai. G for Galadriel, from all LOTR and Hobbit films. First of all, let me confess that I am yet to watch the Hobbit trilogy and I do not like LOTR series. What a blasphemy. But if you want to consider some spinal characters of the series, surely Galadriel will be in top 10. Arwen or Samwise might have lengthier screen time, but neither they are that much layered nor important female roles as Galadriel. Also, it was a clever move from actress who the real tough guy in life. Runners-up, I love Gloria. H for Hermione Granger, from Harry Potter films. Who else it could be? She, and her friends, grew up with me and my brother. That was another boyhood with more longing periods. And I think she was the only geek in our childhood. Personally I like the character as she was from a mole family and it was nice allegory for people like us in big fields of school, college and later, workplace. Cutting the philosophy aside, actually it is for Emma Watson. Runners-up, No other similar characters found. I for Ilsa, from the exploitation films featuring her. Now, yes, objectifying women. She is not a hero, but villain and antagonist. No backstory for her sorrowful past, unlike I Spit on Your Grave or Wreck-It Ralph. There is no hero or heroine in those movies. Mother of all sexploitation films before Pam Grier came into picture. Diane Thorne is still alive. Runners-up, that's all, folks. J for Jeanine Stifler, from American Pie films. Speaking of Mother, I cannot forget her. Or as we know her as Stifler's mom. This is another role where character defines the actress. The meaning of MILF was not that much clear for us, but we got the concept anyways. You have opened a new gateway in our childhood, Mrs. Stifler. Thanks. Runner-up, Jean Elaine Grey, K for Katniss Everdeen, from Hunger Games films. Another rebel here. The character never take a single break until the second part of the fourth part comes to end. In a list of so many coming-of-age movies, it created its own fan base. Instant classic or not, time will tell. But she really beat up Trice, from Divergent, or Teresa, from Maze Runner, there is no doubt in that. Runners-up, Kiddo Kiddo, L for Lisbeth Salander, from the Girl series. Remember we talked about political correctness? Hence the Swedish assassin comes. Just for information, the literal translation of the first book was Men Who Hate Women. Pretty chauvinist. And Rooney Mara does not have a cute face, so you should not expect the behavior of such kind. She is like a Danny Trejo against men. She dyes her red hair to black. You will feel the need of an International Men's Day after watching the character. Oh, is there anything like that already? Runners-up, Lara Croft and Luna Lovegood. M for Mikaela Banes, from first two live-action Transformers films. The series sucks. The only reason I have picked this up is one and only Megan Fox. She has a Marilyn Monroe tattoo on her right hand. God damn it. We wanted more of Jonah Hex too. Sad that she got married. Runners-up, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, The Monster's Bride and Megara. N for Natalia Alianovna Romanova, from MCU. Or as we know her as the Black Widow. She is always an underdog inside the team. She is neither the policy maker nor the poster boy. Not a plot device too. But she is the ultimate henchman, what the old Bollywood villains used to have. Reliable, slick, does not steal the screen. And, over everything, she is from Russia. With love. You get it? I wanted to use the word sexy instead of slick. Runners-up, Nancy Callahan. Ororo Munroe, from X-Men films. AKA Storm. So this is the height for the correctness to cover up for a mutant and a black character together. She is less powerful and seductive than Jean Grey, but Jean has some confusing abilities that I do not understand. Even the latest Daft Punk Cairo version could not harm the strong image. Runners-up, O is not very common for girls to name after. P for Padma Amidala, from the selected Star Wars films. Queen, warrior, leader, lover, wife, mother. Not strong-willed as her daughter. This flickering mind would be killing her, she knew and still stepped into. We needed her for this list as we need some romantic ones too. Even the bad acting of Natalie Portman could not make the character less significant. Rumor is this was one of the inspiration for Juno. Runners-up, nobody else. Q for Queen Elizabeth, from Elizabeth and the Golden Age. Like Gandhi, these movies have retold the stories of our historical figures' characters so that their activities which people have been hating could be justified. Or maybe not justifying it, but viewing that from the character's perspective. The logic lies in a different height, different time. More recent examples are Frost, Nixon or MS Dhoni, The Untold Story. But the thing which will keep this in motion picture history is the wardrobe itself. I wonder how did she carry the bonds of it and act so good in it at the same time? Surely the technology in gravity was not used in these movies. Runners-up, Queenie Goldstein, are for Rachel Keller, from the US versions of Ring. In horror movies, ladies take first prize depending on their helplessness in the script. There is a word called Scream Queen for the most frightened female roles too. But Gore Verbinski thought something different for Naomi Watts. So she does not only turn out as the final girl, but saves other lives also. Adaptation was better than the original film. The cliffhanger was a mistake perhaps, but I am waiting for the forthcoming one. Runners-up, Raven Darkholm, S for Sarah Connor, from Terminator, Duh. Mother from Another Family. Everybody watched Terminator 2. Everybody wanted to be Terminator, not John Connor. But everybody wanted Linda Hamilton as their mother. Even in the latest flick, all but Emilia Clarke sucked. Another character development we can see from the first two films. From a housewife to a guerrilla warrior. Respect. Now she is the mother of dragons too. Runners-up, Celine Insel and her clone, T for Trinity, from Matrix films. The real sidekick, the real salvation. Even though Neo was the chosen one, there was no way other than Trinity. Morpheus was the leader, yes, but she was the mentor. Equally significant in latter two parts of the original series. In my school days, I saw her popularity in most of men's fantasy, just after Rachel Weisz in the Mummy franchise. Runners-up, Tinker Bell. This was really a very close save. U for Ursa, from the original Superman films. The lesser-known minion of Zod. Modeled for the original series after Faora, whom you can see in Man of Steel. But she carried her gothic look in such a mannerism that kind of foreshadowed the upcoming era. Also, another cool hater of men who many men will fall in love with. The character gained so much of cult following. Writers had to introduce her in much later published comics. Runners-up, Ursula Stanhope, V for Vada Sultan Fuss, from My Girl films. Apologies, this is not the character itself, but the current photo of the actress. Puberty done well, man. When the kids' movies were really awesome and stupid, they came up with the idea of Vada, who was just in the verge of her teenage. The character was so pure and exploring. Some of my lady friends told that every girl who was in similar condition during the Millennium's Eve had to go through the same things in life. Cannot say if it was real or pretentious. The thing is, Anna Chomsky had such kind of impression on us, at least to the girls of our times. Runners-up, Vesper Lind, W for Wicked Wizard of the West, from almost all Oz movies. Textbooks for all the witches in fiction since then. Still filmmakers use the prototype and color code for portraying evil. Check the Wand Ray of Voldemort. Or Shrek or Mike Wazowski, who are basically representing the evil. The original character was supposed to be like this, so you can start getting the effect of a good screenplay. The role of Alicent's story has been rewritten over and over again through the decades, but even her color was kept intact. Runners-up, Wilhelmina Parker Murray, X for Xavier A. Hollander, from Happy Hooker films. The most happy-go-lucky character of the list. Her autobiography Happy Hooker had so much impact that it spawned an original film and the two follow-ups. It started the sex-positive approach in literature once again, which is, even now, making documentary filmmakers to lean on the subject of her life. Runners-up, Good Luck with an X. Y for You Shailene, from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon films. Also called Asian films are great in action. Say from Hero to any Tony Jaa film. But a few did show a heroine taking the control. This is called the real action choreography, where waifu was used to simplify the stunts. Michelle Yeoh took it to the new dramatic level. The first movie was an adaptation of a book, but the hip of the character easily convinced Netflix to bring a new spin-off for her own. Runners-up, Zma Z for Zira, from the classic Planet of the Apes films. Before all the reboot and remakes, there was the McDaddy of them. And she was the only true scientist in the franchise even before James was born. Jokes apart, this kind of fantasy, adventure stories were lacking such kind of strong first ladies. The beautiful Kim Hunter became the voice of reasoning in the planet. Even Disney reused the name for another first lady in one of the great films. For who cannot remember her face? She was the doctor who told Charlton Heston is so damned ugly when he asked for a kiss. Runners-up, are you serious?
7 of 9. Tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 01.